Welcome to another exciting episode of Doug's Electronic Repair Bench.
Afternoon, YouTube. Here with you on a Sunday afternoon, just slightly afternoon, just a little bit afternoon, matter of fact. I thought I would share with you some stuff I'm thinking about on the signal generator. Haven't made any hardcore decisions yet, but thinking about some stuff, and I thought I'd share that with you and see what you thought. So here we go. Alright, here's what I'm thinking about. Number one, this is a, you've seen these before, the computer cords fit into these. I bought a couple of them when I bought the capacitors. I thought, this might work out pretty good for this. I'm thinking about mounting it right there. Of course, I'll have to cut some slots in here to get it to fit in right, and then take and put some screws in it to hold it. And that will stay basically with the case until this part, this part is removed, or in other words, let me back up a hair. This part here, along with the front of the unit and the faceplate and all that stuff, it all stays together. This is basically just a base for it, and it would come apart. Now, I was worried a little bit about doing that because this is going to be permanently attached to this, and so I can't very well separate that very easily if I do that. But there are two screws there. You can see there's holes right there. Those will be mounted with a nut and a screw, and so if I have to take it apart, what I'm getting at here is, if I have to take it apart, I can just remove those screws, and this whole thing will come along with the front of it. You know, it'll be attached to the front of it, and that way I don't think it should be much of a problem. That's my thought on that. Anybody thinks they have a better idea for that, let me know. But I don't like the idea of the strain relief in here, because I just don't. You know, I tried to find one of these before for a flat cord. They're out there, but it was just much easier to put a whole new cord on it and use the computer round type cord, and then put a new strain relief on the other one's what I did. But I didn't like it when I did it that way, because for one thing, the cord always stays with this, and you have to separate that from that, and it's very difficult to do. So I think. And for this whole thing, I think this is going to be a better setup. So, again, you guys have a better idea for that, let me know. I am never too old to listen to new ideas. I thought I was going to have to use another piece of metal on this, and I even found a piece of old computer case that I was going to use for that. But I think it'll be alright, because the majority of the hold is down here where the screws go through. And really, by the time you stick this through here and I cut this out, the size of this, then it will be tight in there, and I don't think it will come loose from there. I think it'll be just fine. In fact, I know it will be. So that's the plan for that. Like I say, if you guys have a comment about that, I'll listen to you, because I'm all about listening. Trying to see what's down in the bottom of that. See how that comes down all the way down to the bottom of that, so that's going to be cut out all the way flat on that bottom right there. And that might present a little problem, but I think the Dremel tool will be able to get through that. And I might have to come up a hair with it like that, but even if I do, it's not a big deal. I don't think. I just wonder if I took it and put it up to here, and put the bottom of it flat with the, or flush with the bottom of that. I still have plenty of space here on here to, I think, to get that out. I don't know, I'll have to think about that a little bit better. But like I say, if you guys have a better suggestion on how to rewire this, I'm all ears. Now, one of the reasons I like this computer cord, even though somebody, I forget now who it was talking about how the some of the Chinese cords are not wired the same. As long as that center is right, it doesn't matter about these two here, because they go to a transformer, and really in a transformer it's really not going to make any difference which side's the hot and which side's the cold. It's going to be exactly the same either way. So there's no problem with the cords if I use a different cord on it, and these two wires are switched on the cord. It's not going to make any difference to this signal generator at all, because like I said, the power for the signal generator itself, the B plus, comes from the other side of the secondary of the transformer. So again, that's okay. Anywho, that's that. Let me see what else I got going here. Alright, back with you one more time on the circuit board here. Here's the plan on this. Of course, I'm going to replace the electrolytic capacitors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there's 7 on here. Anyway, that's the plan. But I was on these little studs that are sticking up here. See if I can do this. This is the ground stud here for one. Let's see, am I getting out? There's this ground stud. Now I don't know. Notice on the back of this, it's just it goes through the trace and is soldered right here. I think what I'm going to do is try to remove those pins from the circuit itself. Clean the pin off so you can see all the excess, because I just trimmed the wire off, so I did. But all the wire that's left there, I think I'm going to take all that off. And the reason I want to take them out of there, because I don't want to heat up this circuit too much. And I just think it'd be easier to deal with them that way. And then put it back in, resolder it, solder the new wire, or not the new wire, but the wire back to it, and go from there. So I've got several of those to do that too. You can see these 1, 2, 3 here, 4, 5. There's quite a few of them there. So like I said, it's just a matter of cleaning them all off and getting them ready for the wire to go back on. As far as the checking resistors, now there's something to be said for checking resistors in circuit. The thing of it is about a resistor in circuit, it will never ever measure over its value. And it's possible it could measure under its value, but if it measures over its value, it's going to be bad, because that's it. Like I said, there's nothing to cause a resistor to go up in value as far as the circuitry around it. That's just the rule of thumb when you're checking resistors in circuit. But if it measures pretty much below what its value is, then there's a possibility it's wrong. But 9 times out of 10, these old carbon comp resistors go up in value. So that's what we're going to be looking for, is up in value. So we will be checking those as well. I may do that. Well, I know I'll do it before I put the board back in. But anyway, that's the plan for that. I have all the capacitors are here now. Like I said, these disc caps are fine. All the ceramic disc caps. These poly caps are fine. There won't be anything wrong with those. Those are pretty much like orange drops. So, like I said, they're going to be fine. So basically, it's just replace the electrolytic caps, check the resistors, clean the pins off, put the board back in, and go from there. Now I do have, I think one to replace inside here. It might be a little challenging, but I think I can get it done pretty easy. And I have this one here that goes to the meter, which is probably not a critical part, but I want to go ahead and replace it because I was getting the rest of them, so I might as well do that one too. So I think that's it. And of course these little line caps, when those safety caps come in, those will be replaced. So I think that's going to cover this. So let me get off of here and we'll see what else I got. Alright, last thing up on the agenda today is the board there for the shelf. You see how far back it sits, and I don't know if I like that or not, because there's quite a bit of space that, you know, it's a small shelf, but I need a wider shelf there is what I need. But I wanted it to bolt back to the thing there, and you can see I think on that end it's just barely hanging on that end, so I can get that fixed. That's not a big deal, but like I said, it's just I don't know, I'm not sure I like it back that far. You know, I could bring it up this way, like that would be even with the front, and see that makes it much easier accessible, I should say. But then there's a big gap in the back, and if I set something over there, it will fall down behind there. I don't want that either. So I think the best choice would be to find a better shelf. That's my thing, I think, is the best thing to do. Like this one here is well wide enough to it hangs over in the front, and it goes all the way to the back too. So I like that much better. So I may try to do that and find a better shelf. So that would be the thing to do there. I do believe. So that's that. Let's see if there's anything else here I can think of right off the bat. I have the nuts and bolts drawers sitting on top there, just sitting there. It's not mounted or anything like that. I'm trying to think if I want to try to mount that gray cabinet to the backboard there of the brace, or what do you want to call it, and to make it a little bit steadier there on the bench. That's just some of the things I'm pondering this morning. That probably is the main thing right there. So anywho, I think this will be a short video. So you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see ya.